Combat Medic has arrived, and she's one of the most unique and strongest towers to ever arrive in TDX. Let's talk about her gimmicks first. On placement, she has a burst fire attack of 17 that can be upgraded with levels. She also comes with a passive heal of 10 HP a second to any towers in her range, which is also upgraded with levels, and does not stack with each Combat Medic. This passive heal comes in handy in the early game of Expert and Nightmare, as she can keep your towers alive for pretty cheap. Although her name suggests she handles enemies at least decently, she really doesn't. Her DPS is very low, cost inefficient, and doesn't have any way to ignore bullet resistance. Her DPS is essentially just a side hustle when it comes to your defense. Even though she has flight detection too, AA turret already has that problem solved, and it isn't like you would ever need her for that flight detection. Now for her top path, she unlocks the ability to revive towers. When a tower actually dies and is in its death pose, she can revive it passively. This means for as cheap as 10k cash, you can revive any tower that accepts buffs and isn't a spawner tower. I assume with levels, this ability revives towers faster and has a shorter cooldown. But anyways, this passive allows you to completely turn off your brain. As if a tower dies, she's just gonna revive it for cheap. Let's take wave 30 of Expert for example. Usually you want to have an Uber on standby, or maybe even a shield tower to protect your towers. But with Combat Medic, if you have 2 to 3 of them upgraded to at least level 3, it makes her defense basically invincible, as she's just going to revive anything that happens to die. This ability becomes incredibly strong when you learn this one trick from her, which I'll talk about after her bottom path. As for her bottom path, it isn't as strong, but it helps out sometimes. This path's attribute is the healing drone ability and the increased passive heal. It cannot revive towers, so this path heavily relies on you spamming it to get down as many healing drones as possible. At max level, the healing drone targets up to 8 targets, each with 200 heal per second. The issue is, it's way more expensive than her top path, about 28,000 more, and her increased DPS, range, and stealth detection isn't much helpful either. When I was using her, Sliff was still dying, even in expert mode. Don't get me wrong, it's still a decent path, but it's just completely overshadowed. Now let's talk about her most powerful trick. She has one little gimmick that makes her revive ability pretty overpowered. When multiple towers die at once, maybe from an AoE attack or MK2+'s rage mode, you can upgrade her from 3-2 to 4-2 to 5-2 simultaneously to revive 3 towers with just $40,000. Considering the most expensive tower she can revive is Refractor, this means you can revive 3 Refractors for 40,000 cash rather than the 3 million it'll cost to replace them. That's insane cost efficiency. With this trick in mind, you will never want to place down all your combat medics in case your combat medics get stunned, such as in MK2+'s rage mode. You can have a combat medic ready on standby to quickly revive 3 towers. If you're fast, you can have 2 combat medics on standby to revive 6 towers really quickly. Now let's talk about her best tower pairings. You're going to want to pair with towers that are either expensive or have a low placement limit. The first thing that comes to mind is Refractor. He's the most expensive tower that accepts buffs. And well, to be able to protect Refractors so easily with a revive is just so strong. She was literally made for this tower. Once you use Combat Medic once, it's impossible to go back to using Shield Tower or Medics to protect your Refractors. The next tower she's also insanely good with is Golden Mobster. Golden Mobster provides passive life insurance to any tower in his range, and if he dies, you lose out on that cashback, and you're gonna have to replace him. Combat Medic can prevent that and keep him alive forever, reducing the need to replace him whenever he dies. And now her best pairing is actually both of these towers combined. Refractor, Golden Mobster, and Combat Medic. Why is this so strong? Well, Combat Medic will prevent your Refractors from dying for a long time, and if they do so happen to die to a devastating boss attack because, say, you forgot to utilize her triple revive, well, then Golden Mobster gives you that cashback. Essentially, she's gonna keep your towers alive, and when something actually dies, you get your money back. That's insanely broken. Anyways, let's rank her in every relevant mode. I'm going to give her an F tier in Elite. This is quite obvious, as nothing even dies in Elite mode. Why would you need her to heal towers if nothing is going to die? Furthermore, her defense alone is horrendously bad. She isn't going to defend anything at any stage of this mode. For Expert mode, she's definitely getting S tier. She can keep everything alive with her passive heal in the early game and revive anything that dies on wave 30, 40, and 42 for super cheap. And considering this mode leans really heavy on tower death, Combat Medic is obviously going to dominate in this mode. She's getting S tier in Nightmare for the same reasons as Expert mode. Her passive heal early on negates chariot turrets, and her revive capabilities are insanely strong, and this mode leans even more into tower death than Expert. And furthermore, With Refractor already being a very viable boss DPS tower in Nightmare mode, he is now even stronger than ever in this mode with Combat Medic's influence, as he will just never die and can constantly be dealing damage. And for Ultra mode, which I don't have any footage of, but Tekenu told me this, she's also getting S tier for once again the exact same reasons as before. Passive heal and revivability are just so good for the early and late games respectively. Well, that's the full guide to Combat Medic. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I spent extra time testing her, which is why I'm a little late on this video. Have a nice day.